And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuning in to the I Love Your Money podcast. And I am super excited for my guest today. Any of you that know me know how skeptical I am of the stock market, of crypto, of anything that seems to have emotions tied to the value of it. Now, I've had arguments with people and they say, Ericka, gold has emotions tied to it too. It's only because we say gold. Yeah, I get it. But gold is also used in technology and it's a conductor and it actually does have legitimate value. So, you guys, when we're talking about things like crypto and blockchain, and when you've got the likes of even Hawk Tua Girl out there starting their own freaking coins, how do you know what's real, what's true, what's a scam, what's not? Is Bitcoin worth it? I have all of these questions, and so I have a client who said, "I know exactly who you got to talk to. You got to talk to Marcus Carey. He's a hacker. He knows everything about crypto." And he's probably just as skeptical as you are. So, without any further ado, Marcus, thank you for coming in and joining me this afternoon.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
So what was it? Bitcoin, I heard the last time it's up to like $105,000 a coin now or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's going crazy right now. The election has made crypto go bonkers.
Ooh, Elon Musk has to say one word and then it's all over from there. But, if Bitcoin, if this is supposed to be the dollar, right? The new replacement for the dollar, the new fiat currency, if it can change that quickly, if it can rise and fall in value based on emotions and elections and things like that, is it really any better than the dollar?
So I mean, if you're asking me that, I don't think it's any better than a dollar for sure.
Y-
I think the
right?
dollar's better than it because the thing is the dollar in our country, lucky right now, our country is doing pretty dang good, and it's backed by the U.S. military. So and that's the
I
main
love it.
reason why any currency is good.
Isn't that interesting? Not because of, right? Because we went off the gold standard back in the Nixon era. Was it Nixon, right? Took us off the gold standard, or was it before him?
Dang, I
Woodrow
forgot.
Wilson. Oh, I gotta know,
I
you
think that
guys.
was FDR,
I
maybe.
was gonna say, I know it was
Yeah.
around that time. It was early in the 1900s. We went off the gold standard.
I think it was
And
after the Great Depression.
so I think it's interesting that you say the dollar is backed by the military, right?
Yes.
Not
Yep.
anything else. Can you say,
That's it.
because we
That's it.
say, Ben and I say all the time that, the government has a monopoly on force. And people
Mhm.
don't really understand what we mean when we say that. So can you say a little bit more about what you mean by what the dollar is backed by?
Yeah, so we talk and I'm, I come from a cybersecurity background, and we talk about cyber war and all this other stuff that could be like, cyber war, cryptocurrency, all
Mm.
those different things. And basically, my buddy has this saying. He says, "Bits don't hold ground." Right. So none of this electronic stuff actually can fight and win a war. Right.
Mm. Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, the U.S. government could say, "Hey, it's illegal. Cryptocurrency is illegal." Right.
Mm.
Because it doesn't benefit the government so much as people would think. I think that
Right.
what you're going to see here is that we have a lot of tech people was definitely back in Trump and the Republicans this last election. And what you see here is that most of those people have they actually own a lot of crypto. And so
So they have a
what you
vested
see
interest, is what you're
100%.
saying? Yeah.
100%. And then what happens is it's always the little man that holds the bag.
Mm.
I've been dealing with crypto for a number of years now. I've wrote crypto contracts. I wrote. I'm really into it. And what I see is crypto is mainly full of scammers, and nobody wants to be secure. And it's crazy. I mean, I actually tried to write some security stuff for crypto, and nobody wants security in it, right? It's
Oh my
crazy.
God. Well, I thought that was the whole point of blockchain, was that there was like security, more safety, something or other.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
What?
not.
Okay,
So,
so
but
hold
I
on.
do think the
Okay, so hold
technology.
on. Okay, so let's back up just a second. So your background, Marcus, is in you're like a white hat hacker, right? That's what they say. Like you're a hacker, but a good guy,
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
what they say.
Okay, so you're coming at this from your background in security and safety. You're not just like, oh, I'm some kind of, IT guy. Like
Yep.
you're talking about the infrastructure of the blockchain.
The infrastructure of the internet, your
Okay.
computers, all of this stuff is interdependent. And
Yeah.
what happens is, like in the crypto world, you're your own banker essentially. Some people like that freedom, but there's no FDIC. There's none of that thing.
Mm.
Even like NFT booms, the NFT thing was hot for a second.
Oh
People
yeah,
were
those
looking
are
into that. What
yeah,
happened is
money
you're your own
laundering.
art gallery if you're an NFT, if you have an NFT. So there's no guns again. Physical world,
Mm.
there's people at the door, at banks, there's security measures put in. And with crypto, a lot of times it's just your password. And so sometimes people forget their passwords. And then you know what happens? You can't get your
You
crypto.
lose all your money. Wasn't there some guy who lost his dongle thingy or whatever, and he had 50 million Bitcoin or
Yep.
50,000 Bitcoin or something like that,
Yep.
and it's so millions of dollars just
It's locked up. It's locked up. So if at a bank, and you can forget your PIN, you can go to your bank and reset your PIN, right? Uh, simple.
that's
I
true.
think that the core technology of
Yeah.
cryptography, and blockchain is useful, and I do believe that the core technology will be used by the U.S.
Mm.
government at some point, because it is easier to clear transactions. To You can know what's in somebody's bank account real simple. So the actual technology is cool, but what happens is all the speculation on all these. I don't know. They call it there's a word for it, and I don't know if I can say it on your podcast.
Yeah. Say, can
it's,
you
it's a curse word.
say the first letter?
S
Uh,
H U coins, like
oh,
Bitcoin. Yeah,
yeah, crap
it
coins.
rhymes with Bitcoins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
On my other podcast, you can swear. This one, we try to keep
yeah,
it
yeah.
PG
So
13.
there's a lot of these coins,
They're garbage, is
and
what
they
you're
stink.
saying. Yeah, like that's what literally. Okay, and see, you can tell we're PNC 17, PG 13. The Hawk to a girl. Like, come on, bro. So who bought coins from that? And apparently, whatever it was, they took like $1 million in fees right off the top, and so
Oh, yeah.
they're now getting sued, or like the FEC is going after them or something.
It's all predatory, and you have is a there's these people talk about backroom deals. How these all
Yeah,
these ICOs and whatever you want to call them. In ICO stands for initial coin offering.
thank you.
Typically,
Yep.
there's a lot of people that have money. They have Bitcoin. They have Ethereum. They have whatever the chain it's on. They're core people that meet in these back rooms. They pump these things, promote them, create this
Mm,
scarcity, create all that stuff, and then
mm,
as soon as the layman buys in, they it's a pump and dump
they
scheme.
dump
Most
it.
of these coins are totally
Oh,
pump and dump. No doubt about it.
wow. And that's what I think that's what it looks like, with some of the ones that I'm seeing. And so that just makes me even more skeptical and critical of all this stuff, because I mean, you have no idea what you're buying unless you really know the people in the business, like unless you personally know the person who is doing the coin. Like, okay, well, let me back up, Marcus. Do you have any investments in any kind of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
got into it when the NFT thing was booming. I got interested in it. I tried to create some security stuff around NFTs and stuff to keep stuff safe.
Okay, so let's get
So
back to that, which you brought up earlier. So you created something to make it more secure. Tell us about what that was.
yeah, so basically everybody has a Bitcoin wallet. I mean,
Right.
everybody that has deal in crypto, they have some kind of address, whether it be Ethereum or Solana or Bitcoin. There's an address. Well,
Yeah.
there's known bad actors that are bad guys that are out there. So I created a mechanism to try to block the bad guys, so you wouldn't do any transactions with them, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
I thought that would have some traction, but there's no people don't care about the bad guys. I think people
What?
care mostly about making money,
Uh, and so
and
if
so
your circumstance doesn't make them more money, that's basically just a cost on the bottom line rather than increasing the value in their eyes.
you got to deal with the bad guys because the bad boys are always the first money in. Is what I
Mm,
learned. The people that are scamming, they're the first money in. But
okay.
even if
Oh,
if
wow.
you're early, if you catch these deals early, you
Yeah.
can actually make some money. But it's worse than day trading though, right? It's, I mean, a lot of people try
Yeah.
to day trade and all this
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pure speculation.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gambling.
When the pandemic happened and everybody took their stimulus check and put it in Robinhood and started messing around.
Yep.
Look, I am all for democratizing things like that. I think they should be available to people other than, somebody who, I don't think it should be limited to just the highfalutin, rich, whatever the crap. But also, like, somebody's got to tell you, bro, when you are not, when you are out over your skis, like it literally is gambling. If you don't, that's why, what is it, Nancy Pelosi bets or something like that? Isn't there a channel that follows Nancy Pelosi's stock trades?
Yeah.
And because she's got insider trading. She's doing insider trading. She's got
I mean,
inside information.
well, yeah, 100%. And this is what I learned a long time ago. And this is a business story, a McDonald's story. As McDonald's and Burger King is one of my favorite business stories. McDonald's puts all this money into in figuring out what best property to buy. No matter where you're at in the world,
Yeah.
McDonald's has a location there in the proximity. You could be in the middle of Times Square and you can see a McDonald's.
Yeah.
You can be in Rome. There's a McDonald's there. So they have this really awesome way to find out the best property, the best proximity.
Yeah.
Burger King has no such apparatus. They just find a McDonald's and they put it across the street from it. So that's their apparatus,
Is
right?
that really a thing, or are you just
That's the
making that
truth.
up?
That's the truth. McDonald's has their real estate property values is like only second to the Vatican, I believe.
Oh,
So
wow. That is incredible.
what the point of that is you would be better looking at a Nancy Pelosi or any politician, by the way. All the
Yeah.
politicians are in on it.
Yeah.
So I don't trust any politician
No.
whatsoever. So yeah, you're better off looking at what they're doing and trading than going blind and trying to do it yourself. And that's what people try to do. Even on in Bitcoin and stuff, people try to follow the scammers and see what the scammers are doing, and they try to bet fast on it.
Mm,
But the scammers are always one step ahead, and I swear they have these back channels on Telegram and on on Discord and all that stuff.
yep.
And they are is a very coordinated thing to they're the first money in on all these coins. And soon as people start trading and buying them up, you're
They
buying
get
it
out.
from them. It's
Yeah.
classic pumping up. I believe even the Hawk Tour girl, I believe she was taken advantage of. I don't think I think that they scammed her.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think
That's what a lot of these influencers, they're looking for endorsement deals, and there's all these people who are like, let me just use your name and it'll be cool. And so they just essentially say, okay, you have permission to use my name, not actually vetting the companies that they're accepting these sponsorships from or whatever.
100%. And what sucks at the end of the day is this the people that fall victim to it. I
Yeah.
mean, I and that's what's unfair. Is it's unfair that you might not know nothing about it, but you hear everybody's making a lot of money on it. And again, it's like if you did this with stock, you would hit every once in a while, but more
Mm,
than likely you're going to lose.
yeah. So then what do you have any different kind of opinion about, like, to me, the fact that Bitcoin is publicly traded makes zero sense to me. I don't get that at all. The fact that the value is based on the stock market rather than like, and maybe I'm thinking about this wrongly, so please correct me. But to me, the value of a Bitcoin shouldn't be based on people's feelings. So is there any way to like actually control? Well, hold on a second. Okay. See, I'm going back to this idea that there's any sort of actual physical, any value that exists in the world. But Bitcoin and crypto is essentially just ones and zeros out in the ether somewhere. And so if say the zombie apocalypse happens, I mean, money wouldn't be worth anything either, but you get where I'm going with this. Like if somehow the power went out, your Bitcoin is just gone, right? Like there's nothing to continue to trade. Like if the power goes out, technically there's still money. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Am I thinking about this wrongly?
I think you're thinking about it in the right way. The point and the point that I keep on coming back to is at the end of the day, everything's fiat currency. Everything's fiat is because we believe that I should trade a dollar for this, and
Yeah.
we all agree to it. We're all good. The minute where people stop believing something's valuable is when it tanks, right?
It really is. I mean, and I think that's why some of us have such a hard time about this, is because it really is all just belief,
Yes,
faith in something
it's kind of like a
almost.
social contract, right?
Yeah.
And basically, what's the value? What is the value? I mean, so if I'm selling an item, right?
Yeah.
I'm selling one of my masks back here.
Yeah.
The value is the price that I'm willing to pay. And only thing we can see on Bitcoin right now that is hot, is trendy, is that people are gonna the price is what people are willing to pay right now. But it has no utility except for as a commodity right now. It's only a commodity. There's rarely, you can't, back in the day you could buy a pizza. It was somebody that accepted Bitcoin for pizza or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you'll find some place that accept Bitcoin, but it's purely speculation and it's not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
fiat currency. There
yeah,
are
that's,
stable coins though. There's stable coins.
yeah.
A stable coin is backed by a dollar. So basically if you hear the
Mm,
term stable coin,
yeah.
there's like, you know, that coin, and this is purely on like Ethereum or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some on Solana where the value, the person who issues the coin supposed to have a 1-to-1 reserve. It's kind of like the gold standard.
Yep.
But if you hear somebody say stable coin, what stable coin means is they have a dollar per every token on the chain.
Okay. And I
So
think what is it? There's one that's backed by gold,
there's
BD or something. There's like
supposedly, but here's the
supposedly,
deal. As you
but
said, there's no regulation, and how do you know that the person actually is saying that they have it? This is what happened with Sam Baker Friedman
yeah,
or
Sam
whatever.
Bankman-Fried, FTX. Yep.
Yeah. So he was supposed to have stable coins, and the Chinese guy, the what is it?
Yep.
Man, I mean the names are slipping right now. He
No,
said
I got you.
he said they had stable coins, but you're just believing somebody's word.
That's why I
And
was
like,
like, unless you go down and you go, show me the gold, how do you know if it really is? You
yep,
don't. You don't. And so it's, I don't know. I was hoping to feel better from our conversation, but I feel like okay, so let me ask you this. I shouldn't say better. Let me rephrase that. I keep wanting to like be into crypto because everybody's into crypto. And so I
yeah,
feel like I should like embrace it. But it's so just, my accountant brain, I'm very like, I am built to be risk averse. My
yeah,
job is risk mitigation, literally. And
yeah.
so when I see this stuff, I go, ugh, red flags, red flags, red flags. So now, speaking of red flags, I also don't really like the idea of the government moving to blockchain because to me that also means more their ability to you know spy on what I'm spending my money on.
Yep, yep. So I think what blockchain will be used for is bank to bank transactions, right?
Okay. Okay.
That's
Say
what
more about that.
that's where I believe it, and that's where it could actually come in handy. because you know how it takes like a couple of days to clear a check or something like that.
Super annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, I'm talking about, basically it's called distributed ledger technology.
Mm,
That technology can be used to instantly clear stuff. Like right now, what they have to do is, I just had somebody send $1 to my account to see if it was real. I mean,
yeah.
if the transaction went through.
Right.
With
Yeah.
with
Those
distributed ledger
verify
technology,
things. Yeah.
a lot of that stuff you don't need. So there's a lot of different applications where the actual technology can actually work out and be good. Um, and another thing that's funny about all these currencies is, people think that they're anonymous. It's not anonymous. It's pseudo anonymous. You think you're anonymous, but you can get tracked easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to track people.
Really? I
Oh,
thought in
100%.
now, is it just that they keep it private and so that's how it's anonymous? Or is it like what is okay, how is it not anonymous?
It's because, like, there's different kind of techniques that you can always do. You can do research on. As soon as you touch the internet, you can
Yeah.
be tracked once. And so as
Yeah.
soon as you start doing transactions, and people see what your wallet is online, there's somebody seeing you make those transactions. Um,
Mm,
and even like on Ethereum, people have names associated with the name. It's
okay.
just so many ways to track it. You can be anonymous for a little bit, but because the ledger is public on Bitcoin, the ledger is public on Ethereum, it's a public ledger. So
Yeah.
people can see it, and eventually they will catch up with you. Even like people say, "Oh, the government doesn't know," but eventually, soon, like, they're going to find out eventually, because you're going to have to withdraw the money. You're going to have to touch it, right?
Well, and that's, it's the it's also interesting to me because the government is already spying on us and people don't really realize that. I know this as an accountant because I get the emails from, the PayPals of the world and the Venmos that say account transactions over $600 will be reported to the blah 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 blah, and people don't know that that's happening. I think I mentioned before I ran for Congress in 2022, and now and because I was a politically exposed person, I had to give the government permission to spy on all of my bank accounts. And so they're already doing a lot of this. And and this is my favorite. I'm a big constitutionalist or whatever, I guess, strong supporter of the Second Amendment. And I was having a conversation with somebody. I said, there is already a de facto gun registry. And they were like, what are you talking about? And I said, with your credit card. How did you buy your gun? The government knows that you made a purchase from whomever the heck, whatever manufacturer it is, whatever ammo place, whatever. They know because your credit card company knows. And
Yep.
so and they make categories, like when you get at the end of the year, you can say, "Oh, what are my charges? I want to see what my charges are based on the category." Guess what there's a category for? So, like I feel like they're gonna get
Yeah.
you. Like if the government wants to get you, they're gonna get you no matter what.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I mean, unless you're spending cash, it's not traceable. So cash is like, cash money is the only thing from a privacy perspective is that you can count on. Like all this
Yeah.
cryptocurrency, people think they're being anonymous. They're delusional.
Oh, you're breaking all of the false beliefs down, Marcus. Okay. I feel like what else should I ask you? Like, okay, so basically I was right. Don't invest in crypto. Invest in real stuff that actually has value. I'm not saying you said that, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, I
Um,
agree with that. So one of my favorite books on this subject, I don't know, I would like to ask you. I love
yeah.
this book called The Psychology of Money. You like that book?
Oh, I don't know this book.
Oh man, it is
How do
really
I
good.
not know this book? The Psychology of Money. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Oh, look it. I put three letters and it comes right up in Google. Are you listening, Google? Okay, by Morgan Housel? Housel?
That
How do you
book
say
is
that?
amazing. That book's amazing.
Okay. So say more
I
about that.
think that the crypto thing is you see the big number. It used to be pennies.
Yeah.
That book is the most amazing book that most people need to check that book out. It
Okay.
basically talks about long-term savings. It talks about, IRAs. It talks about Vanguard accounts, and it talks about stuff that is actually going to get you there over time. I think with cryptocurrency, a lot of people think that, they saw something, somebody invested in this when it was pennies. Now it's worth
Mm,
$100,000 or whatever, and they get all excited and think it's
yeah.
a get rich quick theme. And like the old adage is, if something's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah. Well, and um, also if you're hearing about it, it's too late.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah,
think that was, did you
100%.
tell me that or did I hear that somewhere else? Like, if you're
No, no.
hearing about the big thing, you're too
Yeah,
late to buy it.
I think that's a dang what's the dude name? Warren Buffett. I think that's a Warren Buffett quote.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe
Yeah,
that's where I heard it. Yeah.
or the guy that
Because,
works with Warren Buffett probably. That's a Buffett quote though. That's one of those guys.
yeah,
It's true.
I think that, what you said is so important. And I know we were just having a conversation. These get rich quick schemes are not, they're not just in crypto. It's not just these multi-level marketing companies. You have people out there who are claiming to be coaches and, millionaire real estate people, and they're just selling you a bill of goods. And the only people that I know who legitimately got rich quick, like they were drug dealers or their family gave them money. You know what I mean? Like there to me, there is not a way around building some kind of skill that has value that you can increase money with.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So,
mean, even like I mean, I one of my favorite YouTube videos I've ever seen was the guy you're probably familiar with the book Freakonomics, right?
yes.
And so he did a talk and he talked about they sent a PhD candidate student. He went into this project, Cabrini Green's apartments in Chicago,
Oh, wow.
and basically the average drug dealer on a corner was making less than somebody at McDonald's, right?
What?
Yeah, and so they did accounting. Funny enough, you would love this talk. I should send it to you. they
I'm
they
so excited
they
right
had
now.
they had the books from a drug gang in Chicago. They did all the books and they did accounting, like gap analysis or whatever. It's like, they did that on a drug gang, and they actually show you how much everybody made at whatever level, and they compared it to the McDonald's corporation. It's amazing. So even
I need to
people
see
that see
this.
the flashy lifestyle and all that of drug dealers, they don't even that's not even true. So not don't believe like the old saying, and I think that believe half of what you hear. No, but half of what you see and none of what you hear.
Yep.
Is the heard it through the grapevine.
I love it. I think that's a perfect place to put a pin in the conversation today, Marcus. Is it a TED Talk? Because I think I just found it.
Yeah, it is a TED Talk. Yep.
Okay,
That's
I'm
an
gonna
amazing
put.
talk.
Yep, I'm gonna put with Stephen Levitt. I'm gonna
That's it.
put. Yep, I'm gonna put a link in the description for everybody to watch it, and I will definitely check it out. Thank you. And I'll put a link in the description for the book you recommended as well, The Psychology of Money. So, Marcus Carey, white hat hacker, crypto antagonist like myself. If people want to follow you, if they want to learn more, do you have any social media where people can check you out? Website, uh, anything, a lot. We shared some stuff in the description, but share where you want on the video.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to follow me, I'm professional. You can follow. You can look up Marcus J. Carey on LinkedIn, and you'll see a picture of this face. So,
Yeah.
and you can hit me up on LinkedIn at any time. DM me on LinkedIn, and I'd love to talk to people. I talk to random people. So if you have any questions, hit me up.
I love it. All right, you guys. So I'll keep, like I said, I'll put the links in the chat and maybe in the description too. And Marcus, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you sharing your opinion. And you guys, we're going to close with a book for Audit Armor. It's basically accounting cliff notes for entrepreneurs, how to keep yourself out of trouble. So share this with somebody you know who just started a business. All right. Thanks again, Marcus.
Thanks.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ericka Reddick. I'm a fractional CFO and also known as the Fixer. So if you are a small business owner and you're trying to understand your finances, or you're an entrepreneur and you know that you need to understand some things before you get started, Audit Armor, Fortifying Your Financials is an excellent book for you. Grab your copy today, grab the freebies, and make sure to stay tuned because we've got some great webinars and other things for you coming up soon.